Hello, and welcome to my tessellation project. Now today, I hope to show you how properly and correctly make a tessellation. Now, I'm going to start in the GeoGebra file. However, if you don't know how to do that, then you can view my presentation below. And it has the basic steps on how to open up GeoGebra and other basic steps with that. Now, I'm just going to start by customizing my personal GeoGebra file. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this algebra window as small as possible, but not close out of it, because I want to be able to see my points, my strokes, and everything else I'm going to be doing today. Next, going over to the graphics view, you see these axes, but they have no points at all, and they're totally unnecessary for this project. So what we're going to do is we're just going to remove them. Now, we're going to right-click anywhere in this graphics view, and as you see, a pop-up menu comes up. And depending on your computer and your type of GeoGebra file, we're going to see the axis is highlighted blue and or checked. So what you want to do to remove that and remove the axis behind it is just click it one time. And as you see, we now have a blank graphics view window. So what we're going to do now is we're going to need the point tool. And if you follow my mouse, up here next to the move tool is the point tool. And you can do this by two ways. You can either click on point one time, or you can click this down arrow, and as you see, a pop-up menu comes up. And all of these different options show. However, either way, we're only using the point tool right now. Next, we're going to go ahead and plot three different points. Point A, point B, and point C. Next, we're going to need to select the vector tool. And by doing that, we're going to go to the right once from the point tool again. And as you see, vector is already up for me. However, most likely, if you click this pull down menu, it'll give you all these options again. And if you go down to the second from last one, it is vector. And we're going to create a vector from point A to point B. And another one from point A to point C. And as you see, point A to point B created a vector called U. And point A to point C created a vector V. Now this isn't necessary, but I'm going to move my things around just so that way it's easier for me to tell which points are which without getting them messed up. Because sometimes in the future with our pen tool, it'll be a little harder to see. Okay, here we go. Next, what we're going to want to do is we're going to need to bring up the pen tool. Now again, this is up in my hotbar, but most likely it's going to be under text for you down in the pull down menu. And it'll be right here. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to create one stroke from point A to point B. Make it as crazy as you want. So here we go. There you go. Now, next we're going to create another one from point A to point C. But be careful. If you don't hit escape before doing so, we will see that as we hit escape, it also deselected our stroke. And if you don't do that and you just go ahead and just make another one, it'll keep you connected to stroke 1, and that can mess up our whole tessellation in the future. So what we're going to do next, after you've hit escape, you're going to go ahead and just start from A again. Not that. And you're going to go back to your pen tool, and you're going to go ahead and just make another design. Okay. Hit escape again once more, and as you see, we've created a figure. And it works, and it looks kind of weird right now, but it's not connected. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and find this tool. Oh, for me it's up again on my hotbar. Translate by vector. But what we're going to do is we'll pull down this pull menu and go back down to it. Translate by vector. Okay. Now that we have that selected, we're going to select stroke 1, which is from stroke 1, which is between point A and point B. And we're going to click that one time. Now it is selected, and anywhere we move our mouse, even off the stroke, you see it's still bolded. Next, we're going to click on vector V, which is between point A and C. And as you see, it created another vector, or another stroke between point C and imaginary point D over here. And it is the exact copy of stroke 1. Next, we're going to do the same thing for stroke 2. We're going to go ahead and click on it one time, and then click on vector U. And as you see, it doesn't match up completely, but it still copied it over, and it's still the same exact thing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over to our pen tool and just kind of fill that in a little bit. There you go. So next what we're going to do, before we go over to paint, we're going to go back to our move tool, and then we're going to find everything. We're going to go to we can go to our algebra window, or we can stay in our graphics window. I prefer to go to the algebra window because it's easier to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click and hide to show object. But not on our strokes, because then we can't see our tessellation. Instead we're going to do it on point A, point B, point C, and vector U, and vector V. And as you see, that completely hides every single point besides our lines, which is our tessellation. And as you see right here, my figures are not all connected in every single spot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this pen tool again, and I'm going to just connect them. There you go. Now, I know that's not exactly how it's supposed to look, but in the end, it should look good still. So what we're going to do, before we go over to Paint, we're just going to go ahead and go to Edit, and it should bring out another pull-down menu. And we'll see right here this option, Graphics View to Clipboard. And what this does, if you click it one time, as you see it's loading, and what it's doing is it's saving this image right here, without the algebra window, to our clipboard. So then, if I bring up Paint over here, as you see, Paint's been brought up. As you see, if we hit Paste right here, our whole figure is now into Paint. But this figure is so big, you might be telling yourself, and that's so true. So instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go to Resize. And as you see, horizontal and vertical and maintain aspect ratio is still checked. But instead of 100, we're going to change this to 50. And as you see, we're going to move it out so it's still out here. But as you see, it made it completely smaller. But now what we're going to do, just to make sure we have enough room on our page, is we're going to do it again. We're going to go to Resize, make sure Maintain Aspect Ratio is clicked, and then go to 50 again. Bring it back onto the page, and as you see, it has still maintained its ratio, but it is still at the same time the same figure, but is much smaller. Great. So now what you're going to do is you're going to want to go ahead and design it. I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and do this really quick. Now, as you see, I've created a very, very poorly drawn American flag, but you get the rough idea. I mean, this tessellation, it's just coming up with the design is just something of your imagination. And see, when I saw this tessellation idea, I was like, that kind of looks like a flag. So what better flag than U.S. flag? Of course, but you know, cliche, I know. But anyway, that's not the point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure Select is clicked. And what we're going to do is we're going to left click and hold, and then we're going to drag down vertically and horizontally at the same time, diagonally, across our figure. And so when you see this checked box around it, we're going to let go. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click and copy our figure. And then once that's done, we're going to go ahead and paste it by right clicking and then hitting the paste tool. Or we have the clipboard up here. And as you see, we have a white figure and it's cutting off our other figure. And that's normal. What we're going to do is we're going to go up here to our select tool. And as you see, we have this arrow, and we're going to click on it one time. And now, under selection options, we have transparent selection. So what we're going to do is we're going to click it one time. And if we open that back up, we have it checked. And that's good. That's what we want. And as you see, now the white is able to be seen through. And as that is a problem, if something like this would happen, then we have a solution for that, but I'll show you that later in the video. For now, we're just going to go ahead and try and match it up. See, as you see, I'm getting as close as possible, and if you need to, you can also go ahead and zoom in. See, this will also help you by pasting again, and see if we get really close and in there. And we can just keep doing this over and over. Make sure it tessellates on all sides, however, because if it didn't work up here, we'd have to start over with another tessellation. Make sure it works down here, and it works on both sides. That's good. I'm not going to go ahead and do this whole page, but as long as you get the gist, that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a trick. If you have a transparent white image such as this one, where if you need to right click and paste again, and something like this happens, and you can see through your white, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to color 1 and just select white. Next we're going to go to edit colors, and we're just going to drag this down very slightly. Now, as you can see, color 1 looks very white compared to color 2, which is normally white. So if we go to our paint bucket and just click white in all these different spots, and as you can see, now when I do this, now when I do this, it's very smaller chances of actually going through. And see, as you see, I kind of missed a couple, but Besides those, it's not see-throughable anymore, but it still looks very, very shiny white. So there you go. That's how to create a tessellation, and that is what you want to do. You just want to go ahead and copy and paste, and then once you are done, it should look something like this. This is just to give you a rough example of what it should look like in the end. Now, as you see, I kind of used a social media theme, and it kind of works, and the colors don't clash at all in my opinion, but it's very eye-catching, because we have the yellow, we have the blues, we have the grays, and we have all the different colors, and it works. Now, the tessellation could depend on your size. As you might tell, mine is a little smaller page than the one I had on the other one. But my page is 8.5 by 11 inches. However, depending on the size of your tessellation, you might need to change that. So, today, I hope I've properly shown you how to create a tessellation. And thank you for watching for my podcast.